Chinese astrology, the horse symbolizes vitality, speed, perseverance, and success. If you were born in the year of the horse, I hope you are all of those things, otherwise you have failed your zodiac. And to celebrate the year of the horse, Jordan Brand is releasing their most special Lunar New Year colorway to date, unless there's some like absolute bonkers banger to come. But so far, this is probably the most unique one. Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chinese New Year. And the shoe is dropping on February 17th for $165. And of course, this is the Chinese New Year, Year of the Horse Jordan 1 Low OG for 2026. Right off the bat, in the spirit of the horse, I have to say, the sneaker's description for the shoe is some absolute horse. Look at this. As of today, on sneakers, I do not see the word horse for this goddamn shoe. I don't see Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, year, none of that. They start off by saying Luxe leather, which brings me to the materials on the shoe. And the materials on the shoe, there is a mix. So on the base layer, it is actually just canvas, and it does have this kind of bluish tinge to it. So it's not like white or exactly just sail. There is a little bit of a tinge. And going back to that horse sneakers description where it calls it Luxe leather, I don't know where they see Luxe leather, but it's just, yeah, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But it is just like textile canvas. Feels like pretty regular textiles here. Nothing too special. Now on the swoosh itself, that is where they have changed things up. So it comes in this faux type of pony horse here, and that wraps around to the booty of the shoe as well as the heel tab. That again doesn't feel like anything too premium. Obviously they're going with synthetic materials here. The Jordan 1 Low OGs this year, I believe moving forward, they're going to come with the 8 eyelets that came with the Jordan 1 Low 85 cuts. So low OGs in the past years, they've come with just 7 eyelets. Special collaborations like Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows did still come with 8. 1985 Jordan 1 Lows also came with 8 eyelets. So they're reversing it, taking us back to the 1985 version, at least in terms of the eyelets as well. And the swoosh itself, you will see, I believe they're doing this year as well, just returning to the larger swoosh, just like the Jordan 1 medium olive low OGs that came out earlier this year. At some point, Jordan Brand decided to slim down that swoosh, but they're reversing course. Prosy that, and I think most people are happy with this change. The booty, you will see the Wings logo that it kind of debossed into like the hair there. And the difference between a non-OG Jordan 1 Low is that for the non-OGs, they'll have the Wings logo like on the heel counter. For the OGs, they'll have it on the heel tab there. And of course, the most distinct thing about this shoe, the first thing that you probably will notice, it is this floral design that is embroidered onto the toe. I don't love how that looks. It just kind of is in your face. It doesn't really flow on the shoe itself very well, in my opinion. I would have preferred if they kind of spread this design out into like the angle and the lateral view of the shoe. So spread that out across the sneaker itself, but just all bunched up into the toe box. I don't love it. Yeah, it just looks kind of out of place all in one spot. But I guess I appreciate the effort. And then moving up the tongue, you will see just these white or off-white creamy type of laces out of the box. And it does have a golden middle-like lace tips. So I do like that. Elevates the shoe a little bit. And no, this shoe doesn't come with any extra laces. And it does come with this one hang tag that's looped actually out of the box into this lace hole. And it does come in like a shape that is often used in Asian motifs. Now at the very top of the tongue, usually you would just get a Nike ear tag. They changed it here to be like a scroll. So out of the box, it is like tied up, but you can actually untie it. And on the scroll itself, you'll actually see these 2 sentences that comes from a poem that is from the Tang Dynasty. And the reason why they chose this particular poem is because one of the characters in this is the character horse. So the meaning behind this poem is kind of hard to describe. It just doesn't translate into English very well. Like in Mandarin, it's very majestic. It feels elegant. It feels poetic. But the literal meaning, like directly translated, is something like, with the spring wind or breeze behind me, my horse gallops fast, and one day I'll see all the flowers of Chang'an. I do really love the idea there. It is very unique and very different. I love how the storytelling comes through on that scroll on the tongue itself. Really good use of that Nike Air tag. And one more difference between an OG versus non-OG Jordan 1 Low. OGs, the tongue ends here. Non-OGs just kind of protrudes out, and it also has the Jumpman branding instead of the Nike Air tag. And in terms of the cushioning of the Jordan 1 Low OGs, it does just come with a rubber cup sole and one Nike Air unit in the heel. Now the sole itself, even though they are including 8 eyelets going forwards for OGs, like the 1985 version of the Jordan 1s, for the sole itself, the pattern here, that is still not like an 85 cut. So slightly different, so they haven't changed that there yet. Maybe they will, but I still don't know why they need an 85 cut, Jordan 1 Low OG, Jordan 1 Low non-OG. I know why, just to split up the segments, squeeze as much money out of us as possible, just give us all 85 cuts, make that the actual low OG, and then price it as a non-OG. That's a good idea, isn't it? But the sole here, a little bit of there's a shade to it. It's like, not exactly just sail pea stain yellow, but it feels almost like a very, very light tinge of brown, just very light. And on the outsole, that is actually just brown and the regular Jordan 1 Low pattern with the concentric circles up top. And in terms of the insole, pretty regular, just gold Nike Air branding, staying on theme. I will say this is not like a polyurethane insole or anything, but just in terms of thickness, it is decently thick. They've definitely come with like thinner insoles that just felt like paper thin, just hot trash. I wouldn't call this that. And in terms of the box, just a gold Nike Jordan 1 box. And the paper, really like what they did here. Got this very Chinese inspired artwork and that poem, those words that you also see on the tag on the tongue. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer. For Jordan 1 Lows, I usually just stick true to size. Fits me pretty well. Lengthwise, widthwise, no real problems. And going forwards, I think just like with the medium olives as well as this shoe, you will see the toe box is slightly a little bit more rounded than like low OGs that have come in recent years, where sometimes it can be super sleek, just looks a bit too long. This, I think, just from a bird's eye view, does look slightly closer to an 85 cut. Some people probably, if you have narrower feet or like non-wide feet, you could even go down half a size. There's just not as much padding in the ankle area compared to a high cut of the Jordan 1 Lows. And the ankle lining here, it is slightly like kilted, so trying to go for that more elevated, elegant look for this shoe. Now I will say those insoles, the thickness of them, even though it's not like the best quality insoles like polyurethane insoles, but they are decently thick. And for me, you definitely do feel that once you put your feet in. So even though Jordan 1 Lows are just not the most comfortable shoe overall, still pretty average, nothing too special, you can barely feel the Nike Air. The extra thickness on that insole, I think, helps a little bit. And that brings the total sole score of the Jordan 1 Low OG Chinese New Year, 33 out of 50. A pretty average score compared to other special releases. Now first, it is colorway. I think it's okay. Honestly, just the floral design is just placed in the position that I just don't love. I think it takes away from actually a pretty clean shoe. So yeah, without this, I think it would look actually pretty nice, but with it, too out there, too in your face. And in terms of the materials, it is just like canvas on the base layer. The faux hair that you feel just doesn't feel anything too special as expected. And in terms of the comfort, Jordan 1 Lows usually are, yeah, a little lacking in the comfort department. Super old shoe. There's not a lot of cushioning. It's not very plush, very flat to the ground. It's about as average as you can get. And in terms of the versatility, on a shoe like the Jordan 1 Low OGs, usually it's a very wearable shape. Everything goes with this shoe, but the colorway is obviously quite out there. Just that floral design is in your face, like in your face. I don't think a lot of people will want to wear this walking around. At least you got to be a special type of person to pull this off confidently. I'm not that special type of person. I just think for a general audience, this is not the most versatile sneaker, but without it, even with the other bits of storytelling that's unusual for a general release Jordan 1, I think it could be, but with this huge design of the toe box, just takes away from it a little bit. And in terms of the storytelling, this is definitely where the shoe shines. I really do love the use of that scroll on the tongue. Just really cool idea. Comes with a hang tag, uses gold that is often used during Lunar New Year as well. The red little string ribbon here, very commonly used color during Chinese New Year too. The faux hair used also is very subtle, but you absolutely know what it's trying to do in terms of the storytelling. Paper inside the box also is custom, so they definitely did a great job storytelling wise. And today's throwback of the day, it is the Foamposite Tianjin China that dropped on February 7th for $215. Tianjin is a basketball hotbed in China, and you'll see some of the craziest graphics ever seen on a Foamposite, with the lotus being a big inspiration here, replacing the 1 cent logo on the tongue, and the insoles says the same thing as the booty, directly translated something like, so basically the meaning is you have so much, you'll never be short of anything. Just an insane shoe. Foamposites may not be as popular as they once was back in the early 2010s, but I'm sure if they brought this one back, people are going to be talking about it and scrambling for these with their shirt off. I've reviewed quite a few Lunar New Year shoes this year. The Luka 5s, Nike Dunk, maybe that's actually it. Thought there was more, but this is probably the last one that I'll review unless they bring out one of those crazy special releases. Like last year, we had the Xuanwu Jordan 1 High, super limited. The year before that, there was the Air Force 1 Year of the Dragon. Insane shoe. I don't know if this is their like banger this year, but so far, out of all the Lunar New Year colorways that I've seen from Nike or Jordan brand, I haven't been too impressed. I gotta be honest. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chinese New Year. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.